welcome to the second round of the 2025 Nürburgring Drift Cup season. This time we're going against the race direction downhill towards Goodyear Corner.
Die Streckenführung ist echt brutal, ne? Die hat es echt in sich. Also ja, man muss erstmal damit warm werden, ne? Also wir haben noch ein bisschen, ein bisschen Probleme, ob wir im dritten bleiben oder im vierten. Und ja, es ist auf jeden Fall sehr tricky, ne?
It is much of speed and you have to flick and then you lost some speed, but you have to catch some speed for the last turnout, and it's much tricky to find the middle.
Il est assez technique, alors c'est pas vraiment naturel de devoir faire un manji sur une ligne droite, donc c'est l'aspect technique, mais franchement quand on prend le pli, il devient super cool. Après faut pas hésiter à y aller quoi.
Ja, ik vind hem super gaaf. Eerste keer dat ik hem doe. En ja, ik heb hem wel vaker de andere layout gereden. Dus de eerste keer dat we deze doen, ja, echt super gaaf. Want je gaat echt super hard naar beneden. En je pakt onwijs veel snelheid. En ja, je hebt het laatste bochtje dat je gewoon vol gas kan zitten. Ja, dat is gewoon super dik.
Really tricky. And because of the short acceleration we have. Because normally when we drive downhill we have way more. It's quite hard to find the right transmission, so I'm still finding out which transmission I take and in which gear I will drive.
The difficult part is the start, when you are going to 160 and you need to take the transaction and fly into the corners, and that's for me a little bit lazy and scary.
Là c'est le départ en descente, surtout qu'on arrive très vite déjà dans une zone où il faut faire un premier manji et du coup il faut envoyer du lourd pour aller jusqu'au bout, pour garder une ligne à peu près correcte et de l'angle jusqu'au bout.
You are at the start line and I am starting in second gear, and then I need to go quickly to third and fourth, and then with a clutch kick I initiate, then you go downhill with the transitions, and you need to get really wide in the Goodyear corner. And then yeah, you pull it through with a lot of angle and smoke and you're done.
Il faut vraiment arriver très vite sur la première partie. Il faut vraiment pas relâcher les gaz et il faut vraiment prendre beaucoup d'angle pour aller chercher l'épingle sur tout le long jusqu'à la fin du tracé.
Konstant am Gas bleiben und der Linie folgen, sag ich mal. Wenn du von der Linie abkommst, ist dein kompletter Lauf hinüber. Du musst genau der Linie folgen, die Judges vorgeben.
Ik denk dat de lijn heel belangrijk is, omdat je echt gewoon out of the clipping points, maar dat je die gewoon goed rijdt, zodat je goed uitkomt op de laatste bocht. En dat je dan echt goed kunt oplijnen voor de laatste bocht, zeg maar. Ik denk dat daar de battles beslist worden.
So let's start with some qualifying highlights of the club class. Third place with an amazing run of 91 points goes to Charles Aurichier in his twin bush Toyota Chaser. Beautiful munchies down the hill with a big entry into Goodyear Corner. You see how much angle he provides. Goes way out on the outside line as the judges wanted it to see. Beautiful last transition for the last part of the track. Third place, Charles Aurichier. Second place, BMW E36 V8, Janis Spone, a little bit later than Charles Aurichier at the beginning of the track, but a big backwards entry into Goodyear Corner, manages to save it, drops a little bit on the inside of the track, but keeps on drifting, comes to the outside once again, lands transition full on the throttle as the judges recommended. Beautiful run and 94 points. So Jack Gregory initiates way earlier than everybody else. Flirts with disaster here in the Munchie section, big angle and a huge entry into Goodyear Corner. Floors it like crazy smoke, huge angle, and you hear the ref limiter banging like crazy. Last transition for Jack Gregory and a nice 360 to celebrate this 95-point run.
Probleme.
So after some nice highlights of the top 16, let's kick off the grade 8 with number 1 qualifier Jack Gregory against Gerrit Jan Tonen, so the 450 horsepower BMW E36 against the old school 540 from Gerrit Jan Tonen. Jack Gregory initiates way early, flicks the car down the hill really nice, does a nice entry into Goodyear corner. Gerrit Jan Tonen without a chance, not staying close with Jack Gregory because he's just outpowered from the young UK driver. So now they switch positions as usual. Jack Gregory now in the chase position, hunting down the hill Gerrit Jan Tonen in his black BMW E34. So he initiates earlier than Gerrit Jan Tonen, makes pressure Gerrit Jan Tonen with a slightly dirt drop here, but it's okay-ish. He makes some pressure. Jack Gregory really is faster than Gerrit Jan Tonen, pushes him around the track and over the finish line. And Jack Gregory advances on. So next one is Kevin Siegrist in his 700 horsepower rocket ship against Jan Lokkerse BMW E30 V8. Yeah, just 300 horsepower, but Lokkerse really did a nice job in qualifying. Kevin Siegrist powers down the hill, does some nice munchies, drops a little bit to the inside line, but manages to go outside again. Lokkerse without any chance has problems following the line of Siegrist. So Siegrist with a huge advantage in this case, but a battle is divided in 2 runs, so now Siegrist has to chase Jan Lokkerse, and it's a hard job when you have such fast car as Kevin Siegrist. Jan Lokkerse initiates early, Kevin Siegrist applies some pressure, follows the line of Lokkerse really nice till this point, but makes a big mistake here in the chase, has to do some big correction, and then he straightens out. Unfortunately, he makes a big mistake in the Goodyear corner. So that's the reason why Jan Lokkerse gets the win overall, in addition of the 2 runs. Next battle, Janis Sponer, second place in qualifying with his V8 E36 against Bianca Lankes-Mack. The only woman in the club class with her CLK 55 AMG, and Sponer, nice munchies down the hill, big entry in the Goodyear corner. Nice line, comes to the outside. Bianca Lankes-Mack with problems following the drift of Janis Sponer, has to reinitiate the drift, so that's a huge disadvantage for the nice woman from, in the near of Stuttgart. So now they switch positions. Bianca Lankes-Mack powers down the mountain, 900 Newton meter in this Mercedes-Benz CLK 55, but she does a really big dirt drop, so 1 tire off the track, which means she scores a 0 for this run. The rest of the run pretty nice done by Bianca Lankes-Mack, but with the dirt drop, so scoring a 0, Janis Sponer gets the win and advances into the top 4. Next, top 8 battle, Charles Aurigier against Cedric Loix, the only diesel car in the field. So the 1 Series is a 3-liter diesel engine. Charles Aurigier, nice job down the hill, nice munchies, keeping the speed high. Nice initiation into Goodyear corner. Loix with problems following the line and goes off track here. And Charles Aurigier smokes out the place in his Toyota Chaser JZX 100. 2JZ under the bonnet, over 500 horsepower. And now they switch positions. So Loix in lead, Charles Aurigier in chase. He leaves a little bit of gap because he has the faster car and knows he has a big advantage because of his spotter. And now he munchies down the hill. Follows the line of Loix. Loix early on the handbrake, less on angle. Line is also in the middle of the corner, not as the judges wanted to see. And Charles Aurigier in the last part of the track applies the pressure and gets the win. So now we come to the top 4. So we have Jack Gregory against Jan Lokkerse, our number 1 qualifier against the red BMW E30, and Jack Gregory again with a really early initiation takes the speed down the hill. Munchies really nice big angle on the entry, and then goes to the outside line and smokes out the place. Lokkerse with problems following the young British driver because of the horsepower. Jan Lokkerse has close to 300, Jack Gregory 450. and one of the fastest cars in the field, as I mentioned before. So now they switch positions. Jack Gregory, one of the hardest chasers in the club class of the 2025 season. And now he's going to apply the pressure. Leaves a little bit of gap at the initiation and then applies the pressure at the entrance of Goodyear Corner. And now he's at the side of Lockerse, pushing the E30 around the track. Jack Gregory really makes some good moves here. Nice battle drifting from the young British driver, and he pushes Lockerse over the finish line and advances on to the finals. Great job by Jack Gregory. Second half final, semi-final here. Janis Spohner against Charles Origier, so second place qualifier against third place qualifier here in the semi-finals. Spohner leaves the start line. Charles Origier leaves a little bit of gap. He knows he has around 200 horsepower more than the young driver with the BMW, and now he applies the pressure. Initiates into Goodyear Corner, tries to close the gap, goes a little bit wider. Then Spohner nice on the edge of the track at the exit of Goodyear Corner. Nice transition to the finish line. So Charles Origier couldn't manage to close the gap really tight. So now he has to really bring a good run here. Janis Spohner in the chase, and he keeps at the back bumper. He stays at the back bumper of Charles Origier. Initiates early, follows the line down the hill, and gains some good speed. Big entry here into Goodyear Corner, follows the line of Charles Origier. Really, really nice. Charles Origier opens the door, and Janis Spohner takes the invitation really nice and gets close to the sidewall of the Toyota. Janis Spohner with pressure and into the finals. Good job by Janis Spohner. So, battle for the third place now. Jan Lockerse against Charles Origier. BMW E30 V8 against the Toyota Chaser. So Lockerse tries to make some pressure right at the beginning, but has to leave a gap because of the power. Charles Origier really munges nicely down the hill. Lockerse tries to catch up by cutting the line, but is just lost in the smoke of the 2JZ under the bonnet of Charles Origier. So really a strong run from Charles Origier, showing who's boss here in the third place battle. But now he has to chase Jan Lockerse. Lockerse leaves the line, Charles leaves a little bit of a gap. Clever driving here because he knows he has the faster car, and now he's trying to catch up. Copies the line of Lockerse really nice, and now he is in the reach of Lockerse. Lockerse with problems, small corrections, and now you see Charles Origier is there applying the pressure on the sidewall of Jan Lockerse, pushing him into the last transition and over the finish line. Charles Origier smokes out the place and gets the third place. Which means we are going to the finals now. Our two top qualifiers with the most spectacular runs in the qualifying. We have Jack Gregory from the United Kingdom against Janis Spohner, both on BMW E36 chassis but with a different drivetrain under the bonnet. Jack Gregory M50 Turbo and Spohner with a V8. So Spohner tries to make some pressure to Jack Gregory, who has problems, initiates a little bit strange into Goodyear Corner and has to leave the track, goes off track. So big mistake by Jack Gregory. And yeah, as you can see, taps the roof of his car and says, "Sorry bro, wrong line." But now Jack Gregory is going to be furious in the chase. We know he is a good chase drifter. He won the best chase in the first round. So now he's going to apply the pressure. Spohner, nice. Transitions into Goodyear Corner. Goes a little bit to the inside and Jack Gregory hits him and both spin out. So big mistake by Jack Gregory pushing Janis Spohner, and because of this, Janis Spohner gets the win at the second round of the Nürburgring Drift Cup 2025 season in the club class. So this is the top 8. As you can see, congratulations to Janis Spohner.
Das Battle gegen Jack Gregory war auf jeden Fall das Aufreibendste, würde ich sagen, für mich. Wo ich auch für mich selber gesagt habe, okay, ich muss jetzt am meisten pushen. Die anderen habe ich, glaube ich, auch etwas durch Fahrfehler von anderen etwas gewonnen. Also viel Glück gehabt heute auf jeden Fall. Aber das Battle gegen Jack 110%.
So now it's time for the Pro Class Top 3 qualifiers. Third place goes to Tim Weiner with a score of 89 points. With his beautiful GT86 1JC under the bonnet, 500 plus horsepower. Smooth as always, Tim Weiner, and now throws in big angle close at the edge of the circuit. Tim Weiner, beautiful exit of the Goodyear corner. Last transition, nicely done. Third place, Tim Weiner. Second place, a score of 90 points, Archie the Hammer Harmer with his Auto Finesse BMW E36 Turbo. Hammers down the hill. Huge angle at the initiation into Goodyear corner in the braking zone and at the edge of the track. And a nice last transition, Archie Hammer. Second place. First place goes to Steve Leiber with his French rocket Silvia S15 V8 supercharged. One of the fastest cars in the Pro class. As you can see, he hammers down the hill like crazy. Huge smoke, nice on the outside line. And now into the last transition, smokes out the place. First place qualifier, Steve Leiber in his drift job, Silvia S15. Some nice highlight shots out of the top 16 here at the Pro class, and now let's get the party started here. Top 8 Nürburgring Drift Cup second round Pro class. We start things up with Steve Leiber against Sinan Arslan. So Steve Leiber with his rocket ship, drift job prepared, S15 Silvia leaves Sinan Arslan without any chance, just powers him out down the hill, and then he smokes out the whole Goodyear corner. Sinan Arslan lost in space in his BMW E36 with a new drivetrain. So he put in a V8 engine under the bonnet of his BMW over the winter. Works out really nice for Sinan Arslan. He now has a really big job to somehow beat Steve Leiber, and Steve Leiber now applies the pressure in the Goodyear corner, goes to the sidewall, pushes Sinan Arslan really to the edge of the track and is really close to his side door. Now Steve Leiber gets the win over the 2 runs, advances on in the top 4. Next battle, Dylan Mouchneau, who stepped up from the club class against old veteran here at the Nürburgring Drift Cup, as you can say, is Uwe Sehner in his Sport Auto BMW M3 Supercharged, tries to keep up with the really fast Dylan Mouchneau. So now they are in the fast downhill section. Uwe Sehner munchies down the hill at the back of Dylan Mouchneau. Dylan Mouchneau straightens out at the entry of Goodyear corner. So big mistake by Dylan Mouchneau and a huge plus for Uwe Sehner. So second part of the battle, Uwe Sehner now in the lead position, and Dylan Mouchneau with a huge chop, somehow forcing Uwe Sehner into a big mistake. Applies the pressure right at the entry. Munchies down the hill, puts the pressure on Uwe Sehner. Sehner with a nice line, nice munchies down the track, and now into the Goodyear corner. Uwe Sehner not on the outside line as the judges wanted it to see, but overall with the advantage against Dylan Mouchneau. So in the top 4, Uwe Sehner. Next battle we have Archie the Hammer Harmer against Dutch Young Gun with a 2JC BMW E46, Röne Svaneburg. So Röne Svaneburg in the chase against Archie Hammer. So and tries to force Archie Hammer into a mistake. Applies the pressure right from the beginning. Röne Svaneburg, power-wise both cars pretty much at the same level. Svaneburg cuts a little bit to the inside here at the entrance of Goodyear corner. That's a mistake by the young Dutch driver, and Archie Hammer does what Archie Hammer does best, lying a pretty decent lap down here at the track. So advantage for Archie Hammer. Now they switch positions. Röne Svaneburg, early initiation, hammers down the track like crazy, but Archie Harmer keeps in distance. Slightly mistake here at the beginning of Goodyear corner. Röne Svaneburg goes off track, throws away maybe the victory against Archie Hammer, and you can see it is. So Archie Hammer advances on into the top 4. So the next battle is Tim Weiner in his GT86 against Luc Metz in his BMW Z4 smoke machine. So Tim Weiner in the lead. Due to clutch problems, he had to switch back to normal summer tires, so no sticky ones for Tim Weiner, and Luc Metz in his rocket ship. So now gets close to Weiner because he is slower than Luc Metz due to the less stickier tires. Luc Metz has some problems copying the line of the way slower car of Tim Weiner, and we have seen there have been some issues on off-track by Luc Metz, which is now leading Tim Weiner into the drift section. So now they munchie down the hill. Second transition, third transition. Nice job by Luc Metz. Does what he should do. And a big mistake by Tim Weiner. Throws the car off track whilst trying to keep up with the smoke machine of Luc Metz. So also 0 in this run. So one more time, Tim Weiner in the lead. Initiating early and munching down the hill. Nice line, nice initiation into Goodyear corner by Tim Weiner. Huge angle, but he is slow. But now Luc Metz knows and can apply to the speed of Tim Weiner and pushes him over the finish line. So now they switch positions and Tim Weiner has to try keep up with Luc Metz. So fourth gear, clutch kick initiation by Weiner, trying to chase down Luc Metz, but he opens up a real big gap. Luc Metz now into the second last corner. Nice line to the outside. Tim Weiner has no chance and gets totally smoked out by Luc Metz, which takes the win. As you can hear in the onboard, absolutely on the ref limiter, Tim Weiner. So congratulations to the French driver. Next one is a big one. Steve Leiber against Uwe Sehne. So the supercharged V8 Silvia S15 of Steve Leiber against the Sport Auto BMW, which is also supercharged, but it's a inline 6 M3 engine. So Steve Leiber smokes out the place down the hill. Uwe Sehne tries to keep up, but has almost no chance because the Frenchman is so fast, as you can see, and really smoky. So Uwe Sehne has problems seeing the track in the chase, as you can see here in the nice onboards. Uwe Sehne, yeah, almost chanceless against Steve Leiber in the chase, but now they have to switch positions. Leiber leaves a little bit of gap at the entry and now starts to push Uwe Sehne down the hill. Now he makes a dive, a nice one on the side of Uwe Sehne, who has a big correction. They almost make contact here, but Leiber somehow manages to avoid contact and keeps on drifting. Uwe Sehne with a nice try, but has no chance. Steve Leiber advances on. So top 4 now. Archie Harmer against Luc Metz. The same drivetrain in different chassis, but Archie Harmer has problems with his car and can make it to the starting line, which means Luc Metz gets the win automatically, just has to do a bye run for the entertainment of the show. So Luc Metz advances to the finals without any fight. So we have the battle for third place now. Archie Harmer against Uwe Sehne. And because of the technical issues in Archie Harmer's car, Uwe Sehne gets the third place without any battle. So it's just a celebration lap for Uwe Sehne, but there's no celebration without tire smoke in Uwe's mind. So huge drift down the track. Yes, you can see aggressive downshift into third gear for the Goodyear corner, and now Uwe Sehne smokes out the place, stands on the accelerator, smokes the rear tires up real nice and celebrates his third place finish here at the second round of the Nürburgring Drift Cup. Congratulations to one of our veterans here at Nürburgring Drift Cup. So now it's time for the final here in the pro class. We have Steve Leiber against Luc Metz. So French final, and Leiber goes crazy at the initiation, almost flirts with disaster and puts an off track into the place, puts a rear tire in the dirt, and that's what the judges say. In the munching section, one tire off is a problem in the Goodyear corner. When there is 2, you score 0. In this case, it's a 0 for Steve Leiber. And now Luke Metz hammers down the hill, tries to keep his advantage to the track. Nice line in the Goodyear corner. Steve Leiber tries to push Luke Metz into an error, but Luke Metz just doesn't make one. So the winner is Luke Metz. Congratulations. First place finish for the young Frenchman. So that's the top 8 here at the second round of the Nürburgring Drift Cup.
Alors top 16, je suis parti avec beaucoup d'appréhension parce que j'avais des soucis avec mon radiateur. Le matin, j'ai pas pu faire de training. J'avais une fuite qu'on a réussi à réparer en dernière minute avant le top 32. Et un turbo qui commence à être fatigué avant le top 16 avec beaucoup de jeux dans l'hélice. Donc c'était compliqué psychologiquement, mais ça l'a fait. Et j'ai réussi à battre monsieur Steve Leiber de Drift Shop.
T'es laissé gagner.
Oui, bon, allez, bon, on va dire que c'est presque pareil. Hein.
So that was the second round of the Nürburgring Drift Cup 2025 season. See you all at the grand finale 25th and 26th of October.